I think about the Branch Davidians and what happened at Waco, Texas in the 90s far too much. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Atomic Radio Hour, the post-nuclear podcast, the show that has on the record it is post-apocalyptia, where I'm continuing this trend where I continue to forget to shut my window. Excuse me, but a moment. The window has been shut. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna be real with you right now, Chief. I'm the most tired I've been in a very long time. This is not going to be a long episode. I want to apologize for that. For the first time, it feels like a very long time, I've been having the ability to enjoy myself again. And I don't just mean me, I mean my time. Like, I've been playing video games with the homies again, and that's something I haven't done in a long time. It's something I haven't had the pleasure to do, and I'm finally able to make the time to do it. I'm so beat. I said I was never going to drink coffee. Last week I started drinking coffee, and now it's just kicked me in the ass because I'm not tired till almost 1 a.m. and then I'm just tired all day, and it's a vicious cycle where I'm just drinking it to stabilize. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I hope some of that made sense. I'm also in a weird position in time where I can feel like things are changing. I feel like it's the 2024 season. Things are changing for the better, and I've had the inclination to start making music again, which is not something I have done for quite a while. Pretty much the past 3 years. I want to say it was 2021, it was 2020, I think, or 21, I'm not sure. Since I had the thought to even try to make any sort of music. And here I am. So there's not much to talk about. I'm going to check for some notes real quick. I don't really think anything crazy has happened. I'm so tired that I don't even know what the hell I just said for the amount of time I just said. Yeah, I don't think anything big happened. I got to play D&D recently. I got to play this game called Twilight 2000, which is a game from like the 80s, a tabletop game from the 80s that makes no sense with its dice rolls. I just really like D&D dice rolls with your polyhedral dice. I don't like this polyhedral dice, but then the numbers correspond with the logo, and the logo equals this, and I got to roll 2 of them, and it's not really, it's success and fail, and this, and it's fun because it is World War III that never happened. It's the Cold War, so we're in Kaliningrad, and I'm not good with that part of the world, that Eurasia geography. My geography isn't that great, but I'm playing a Cuban individual because it takes place in 99, 2000. I don't remember the exact year around that time because the Soviet Union never falls in 91. So it's cool that it's that. I'm playing the medic. I like playing support characters, so I thought I'm going to play the medic. I haven't been able to play D&D in people in person in a very long time. God, am I tired. Thank you for being here. I'm going to stop complaining. I'm going to get to the lore in just a second. Before I can talk about the lore, there are some people that I have to thank who help the show get bigger and better, and that is the people who support on Patreon. In the link in the description below, there is a link to the Patreon, and down there, you'll find a link to one of the 4 tiers, from the $1 tier to the $10 tier. Your voice is heard in each one of those tiers, and if you choose one of those tiers, you could change them at any point in time. I will thank the people in a minute, but the tier that I think is the one you should check out is the Film Live Before a Studio Audience tier for $10 a month. It's less than $4 an episode because I do at least probably about 4 of these a month. You get to watch these episodes get recorded live. You get to be part of a live studio audience. So the people I have to thank that should be on screen right now, starting at the tippity top, is the OG Noah. Thank you, Noah. After Noah, I have to thank Marcus. Thank you to Marcus. After Marcus, I have to thank Mellow Milhouse. Thank you to Mellow Milhouse. And last but certainly not least, I have to thank Captain Lennox. Thank you to Captain Leonox. Because of your ongoing support, the show continues to get bigger and better in new found ways. Thank you guys. I love you very much. Now, this week, life has been lifing. I've been doing more fun stuff. I've been able to hang out with my friends more. I've been able to talk to people more. I've been able to just kind of live and be alive. And this week I did not ask a poll question. I feel like I just tripped up on this recently, and I'm very, 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 very sorry about it. I will do a poll question for episode 294, and I think, don't hold me to it, but depending on how my weekend goes, I think I'm going to prepare something special for episode 300. So, that being said, usually what I do is I go to the Patreon, the Ghoulman Entertainment Patreon, and I ask a question. I ask a poll, and the winner of the poll gets to choose this week's lore. If you'd like to hear any lore, and I mean any lore whatsoever from the Fallout series, consider checking out the Patreon, the Ghoulman Entertainment Patreon. From the $1 tier to the $10 tier, every week, your voice, usually, is heard. And you get to help choose what is this week's lore. This week, I did not go to the Patreon. I had a very hectic week, so I had to pick something myself. So by way of myself, via the Ghoulman Entertainment Patreon, I bring to you Fantastic, the man, the human, the person who works for the NCR in Fallout, New Vegas. Now, Fantastic gets to be a part of something that New Vegas does incredibly well, and it's a character that doesn't necessarily need fleshing out to the 10th degrees, but is a character that gets fleshed out in the small interactions you have with them, and you learn about them so deeply in such a short amount of time. Fantastic is a man who lied his way to the top. He's very much full of himself. He very much is only out for himself, and he only cares about how he advances himself throughout the events of Fallout New Vegas. Not even for a story situation, but just who he is. He only cares about him. He's selfish, he's greedy, he got his position, which I'm going to talk a little bit about how he got his position as a person with a theoretical degree in physics. The way he got his position, he lied to get there, he uses it because it's his cash cow, it's his tugboat, if you will. It comes in every single time without fail. He's just accrued money and clout off of lying, and the people around him have slowly learned how much of a moron he actually is, just an absolute imbecile, and those who are around him hate him because he's such a moron. He won't listen to people. He thinks his way is the only way when his way clearly does not work. Like I said, he's lied his way to the top. The courier can ask him, how did you get this job? And Fantastic will say, it was easy, man. They were going door to door asking if I knew any scientists. I said, look no further. They asked me if I knew anything about power plants. I said, as much as anyone I'd ever met. They asked how well I understood theoretical physics. I said I had a theoretical degree in physics. They said, welcome aboard. This man's charisma is a 2. So, New Vegas doesn't really roll on, like, percentage rolls the way Fallout 3 does, and I just think it's so funny that he has a charisma, too. And on the wiki, I get all of my lore off of fallout.fandom.com. The first thing I did was check his charisma to see maybe he was weak in everything, but had a stupid charisma. He had a 2 charisma, if I remember correctly, and it didn't say that he had a luck. Like, I know he had a luck, but there was no number next to the luck. So, I don't know, maybe my Google Chrome glitched out or something, but I didn't see anything. I know that's wrong. Every character has to have a luck stat, a luck skilled number, a number that represents their luck, but it just said he didn't have any. Like I said, all of this lying he does to get this position just to fulfill his addiction towards chems. So being one of the head engineers at Helios 1, and the fact that they're trying to rebuild Helios 1 so the NCR has another bit of power, and it's solar power, a non-renewable resource, or is it? I would say it's a non-renewable resource because at one point in time, the sun will no longer exist. One of his duties there is to repair the solar panels, and he just hasn't because he doesn't know how. He's been trying to lead the NCR into believing that he's like actually a helpful person, that his position is actually needed, and it isn't. He could have Ignacio, who I'm going to get to in a minute, he could have Ignacio take his position, and the place would probably run more efficiently. It would probably run 40 times more efficiently because he's just there to collect. He clocks in at 9:15 probably. Like, this is the type of employee. He clocks in at 9:15. and he's allowed to leave at 5 o'clock. And because the way the time clock works, he leaves at 9:55 every day on the nose because he's not spending any more time than he needs to in that facility. It's essentially a money generator, like a money gen glitch that he found that will continuously print money for him so he can just continue to buy drugs and be safe while the NCR protects him. Most people know that he's an idiot. Most people understand in Helios 1 that he is not a smart individual. He's an absolute donut of a human. The courier passing a science check can ask Lieutenant Haggerty, I noticed your solar tower isn't collecting much sunlight. I can help. Lieutenant Haggerty goes, no need. We already have an expert hard at work on it. Then again, our expert is an idiot. He might as well be a saboteur. One of the only problems that he's actually fixed is that he has made the NCR aware that the mirrors are pointed in the wrong direction. That is it. He also has... He didn't fix it. He just noticed it. He's also spent months working at one terminal because it's the biggest. He assumed it must be the most important, and then they recently, up until the couriers arriving at Helios 1, noticed that it is just the terminal for the intercom system for Helios 1. He works alongside a man named Ignacio Ravas, a follower of the apocalypse, and he is much, much, much smarter than Fantastic. And he just doesn't listen to Ignacio like whatsoever. This man could probably have this facility at like a quarter or a third of the way there, and because Fantastic is just like, yeah, they're footing the bill, who cares? Nothing gets done. And my favorite thing about him, he can join the Legion. Now, if all the NCR have been wiped out and the Legion takes Helios 1, he will just show up if he's left alive wearing Legion armor. And you can ask, you're in the Legion now? And Fantastic, and this is paraphrased, will say, shh, you feel that? That's the wind of change, baby, and Fantastic's riding them with his magical angel wings. One of my favorite little things that he does, one of my favorite things about him, and I thought it was cut content, I'm not sure if it is, but he'll just be in Legion attire and he'll show up and he'll go, when in Rome, and it kills me. It kills me how quickly he traded spots. Like, he just cares about himself and himself only. I kind of wish there was more outcomes. I wish there was a way to, like, ghoulify him. I would love for his sole reason to just be a chem addict and just fill his pockets with money for his chem bills. I would love just he becomes a ghoul and doesn't feel the effects of Jet anymore or something. Oh, God. Just some other notes and fun facts about the fella. No, it's not at all. I'm reading it right off the wiki right now. If choosing to wipe out NCR in that lucky old sun quest by arming Archimedes, and Fantastic is left alive upon returning, he'll be wearing Legion armor and will have killed Ignacio. If the player character talks to him, he'll say, hey man, when in Rome. I thought it was I don't know why I thought that was cut content. That's really, really funny. Again, I get all my lore off of fallout.fandom.com, the Wikipedia, if you will. If you choose to side with the NCR, Fantastic can be found at the Hoover Dam. He gets promoted to the position of goddamn damn god, in his own words. However, if asked about his new job, Fantastic will admit that Mike Lawson, the chief engineer at Hoover Dam, has made arrangements so that anything Fantastic tried to do must be first approved by Lawson. What a fantastic character. Just fucking... He's just so inadequate. I love him. Choosing to send power to any of the non-weaponized location in the quest That Lucky Old Sun may result in NCR guards remarking, maybe that guy Fantastic wasn't an idiot. Maybe he was a genius. Killing him does not affect your reputation with the NCR, and none of the NCR turn hostile towards you because of it. And it doesn't give you negative karma. I don't normally read the quotes, but he's just an awful character. I want to read about him. I'm in charge. This whole operation depends on me. No Fantastic, no power. Got the whole NCR sucking my teat, and it feels so good. Fuck, man. Everything. I push buttons, I turn dials, I read numbers. Sometimes I make up a little story in my head about what the numbers even mean. He's like a worse Homer Simpson. Nah, man, I know exactly what I'm doing. I just don't know what effort it's going to have over. No, man, I know exactly what I'm doing. I just don't know what effort I'm going to have. The control panels in the building over there, that station has readouts on a computer network. That big knob makes crazy noises. Sparks come out of that slot when you put stuff in it. I'm learning more and more every day. He's so dumb. I love it. But the mirrors outside aren't aimed right. So we're running off 1% efficiency. And if I guess that, and I guess that just isn't enough for some of these assholes. What a great character. I love a moron in any sort of fiction. I do. I truly, 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 truly do. I hope you guys enjoy this week's Lore on Fantastic, because that is this week's Lore. Hey gang, what up slime? What's going on, guys? I told you I'm really tired, and I didn't really have a third segment planned, and now I have one. I feel like I've kind of been a little hypocritical towards you guys, and I'd like to apologize. I know that this show, for me at least, sometimes feels like an outlet for me to just talk to somebody. And I say every week, call somebody you love, tell them that you love them. I leave and I say that I love you, and that part is true, yes, but during the recording of this, I got a message from a friend who I have been thinking about for months and haven't messaged. And I was reading the lore and like put everything down because I was like, you've been a bad, to me, not to this person, I'm saying to myself, you've been a bad friend. You've been thinking about this person. They lived in Israel for a spell, and I've been thinking about them since before the conflict between Israel and Palestine currently. And they messaged me, and now I feel bad about myself. So this is like really a thing. I don't know if you guys believe in like dreams and shit, but like if I dream about people, I worry about them because I've always had this weird ability where I'll dream and then something will happen to that person the next day, within the week. Like it almost ceases to fail. Like it always happens. And I dreamed about an old friend's parents recently, which was weird. And like I messaged them, and I've been thinking about my buddy for a very, very long time. So if you have somebody you have been thinking about, someone you care about, someone that you were friends with, maybe you're not friends with anymore, but you no longer hold any sort of an animosity towards them, call them, shoot them a text. It's even easier now because we have texting. I actually messaged someone recently that I was good friends with in high school. I didn't hear back, but I don't think their Facebook is active. I only really keep Facebook around to like search people when I meet them. And some of my friends I still talk to on there. It's the easiest way to get in contact with them. Like Kyle and I actually talk a lot through that. I don't even know if we have each other's numbers, to be completely honest. We've been friends for over a decade. I probably have Kyle's number. Anyway, call your friends. Just seriously call your friends. Like I have nothing more to say than call your friends. Tell them you love them. Tell them that you're thinking about them. I just call them. Am I recording? All right, everybody, that's going to be this week's episode of Atomic Radio Hour, episode 293. I love you. I'm gonna head out. If you like the intro music, it's by the one and only Shane Ivers. You can get all of his music at silvermansounds.com/free music. There's a link in the description below, along with a link in the description to my Patreon, the Ghoulman Entertainment Patreon. Go ahead and give that a look-see. Like I said, $1 to $10 tier, where there is a bunch of different fun stuff for you to activate and you can do and become a bigger part of the show and potentially become a real part of the show. There is also the Discord, which I implores you to join. My Twitter, the show's Twitter, Kyle's Twitter, the red bubble's down there as well. I love you guys a lot. I really, I think about you guys a lot. I love you guys. I care about you. The fact that you listen to me complain or just ramble or be silly or be tired on a weekly basis, or even if you just kind of like backload episodes, I don't care. You chose to spend an amount of time with me, and I appreciate that. I love you guys, and I'll be seeing you next week. Bye, everybody. Call your friends. Call your friends. If your parents are still in your life and you're cool with them, call your parents, call your grandparents, call your friends, call your barber, call the butcher, call the baker, call the candlestick, a maker. Just call people and tell them that you love them, because I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye. All right, bye. For real. Bye.
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast.
This has been a production made by your friends at Ghoulman Entertainment.